How we going? This is Fox back again for sound design tutorials. One of my most popular videos that I did recently was a direct comparison between the Virus and Sylenth. I did it based on an LFO modulated pad that I made with Sylenth. I then copied it with the Virus and showed people as close to I could copy it exactly, and then show people the two pads side by side so you could get a gist of which one was better or not. I'm going to do that again today, but today I'm going to be going over a pluck, a sort of evolving pluck that starts off a pluck and then evolves into like a sort of half of a supersaw sound. It's a trance sound, very commonly used by both of these synths. Many people use. I personally use the Virus and Sylenth when I'm making both of these sounds. So yeah, I'm going to back both the patches at the same time, side by side, comparing them all the way. What I've got at the minute, I've got both of the Virus and Sylenth just on one saw wave, one voice, no filter, or in the Virus's case, the filter wide open. I'm going to show you the two waveforms in a EQ8 so you can see the differences. I'll show you the Virus first. You can see lovely, clear and stable. You get a slight bit of phasing at the top end, which gives the Virus its characteristic in my eyes. It's sort of like it's a tiny flutter. See it? You're hardly going to hear that. I mean, when you get it detuned a lot, you can hear that. I'll show you the Sylenth now. It's quite a bit different. I was quite surprised. You've got a steep tail off. Let's make sure the filter's wide open. So yeah, you've got a steep cut off around about 17,000 hertz. I'll go to the Virus again. You can see you're losing nothing. You just got that slight bit of movement. Still nice and clear, nice solid peak. Sylenth again, quick. Everything drops off. Even with the master filter wide open on Sylenth. Still nice and clear, nice and solid, not much difference. I mean, you're not going to really hear that difference, something that high. I mean, human ear struggles to hear anything above 14,500. So yeah, as a basic starting point, the basic saw wave in both the Virus and Sylenth are pretty much identical. From there on out, it's pretty smooth going until we get to the effects section. I know this because I did a little test earlier, but for now, we are going to go ahead and get these plucks made. We're going to start with the Virus. So to start with, we'll bring in the second oscillator. You get a slight bit of detuning, even though they're both exactly the same. With the Virus, you still get a slight bit of detuning. You can hear them gradually drifting apart. And what we are going to do, we're going to pitch one octave up from the other, plus 12. We'll do the same inside Sylenth, one voice. Saw wave. This is the Virus. Sylenth. Sylenth. The Virus. What? Bear with me a minute. The Virus. Sylenth. Got to pitch your Sylenth one octave actually. That's the Virus. Sylenth. Sylenth immediately sounds a little bit brighter to me, even though it's exactly the same. Two saw waves, one an octave higher than the other. We've got the balance dead center, or as close to dead center as we can get it on the Virus. The volumes are the same. The only thing you're going to get when we start introducing the voices of unison is Sylenth automatically has the oscillator set to stereo, so it makes it sound wider. But we can get over that with the unison in the Virus. So yeah, we're going to change both of these in the Virus to a hypersaw. Give them both 8 voices. And we're going to detune them. Just before the point where it starts getting a bit muddy. We'll do the same in Sylenth. 8 voices. We'll take a look at them now. This is Sylenth. You get a lot of these artifacts coming up in the lower end on Sylenth, sort of bubbling around. I ain't really sure what they are. They're not really loud enough to hear, but okay, that was Sylenth. This is the Virus. Same sort of thing. Must be the detuning. It's pushing some of the voices lower. Still getting that pumping that we had with the Virus on the high end. Sylenth again, a massive steep drop off. Seems to do something different with the unison. Some certain notes seem to trigger it and cut off some of the high frequencies, but still pretty good likeness. Not much between them at all. Okay, so what we need to do with the Virus though to what's going on? What we need to do with the Virus to even the playing field up a bit is just give it a bit of stereo. If my mouse would stop playing up. Is make it a bit stereo, because I say each oscillator on side Sylenth already has the stereo width built into it, so it's like pushing them new voices wide. We don't have that individually on each oscillator in the Virus, but if we set unison to twin, don't detune them, so we're just now using the unison capabilities, we can pan them and LFO them. So this is doing the same sort of thing. Which one are we on? This is the Virus. Sylenth. So it's still very, very close. So now that's it. Well, that's all I'm going to do. 2 saw waves detuned, and now I'm going to create the pluck. So in the Virus, you need to dial the envelope amount you want, and then create the filter envelope shape that you want. I've made a little pluck sequence here. We'll get this going now. Save me keep pressing the notes. Nice and clean, the Viruses. The envelopes are brilliant, really, really snappy. Somewhat a shade more snappy than Sylenth, I feel. It's harder to get a nice fine balance in Sylenth than it is with a Virus. We'll change to Sylenth now. We'll introduce a low pass filter. We'll close it pretty much all the way. Cut off A. Give it a destination amount. Sylenth. Sylenth. Virus. The envelopes in Virus are absolutely amazing. They're really, really percussive. You get a nice click, which is what you want on this sort of pluck. Okay, what I will do is I'll introduce some drive on the filter for Sylenth. This gives the effect of boosting the volume in effect. How we do that in the side thingy, we will choose a middling saturation and give it to the right a bit. So this is Sylenth. Virus, we'll just boost the volume of the Virus a bit. Still not much in it. The Virus is still winning, I think. How it's going to come into its own now is with the effects. The Virus's effects absolutely blow Sylenth away, unfortunately. So we're going to keep it. Which one are we on? I think we're on Sylenth. Bear with me. Yeah, this is Sylenth. So we're going to introduce a delay first. The left rate we want 1/8. The right 1/4. Feedback we're going to keep centre. Spread pretty much centre. Dry wet centre. We'll keep everything centre-ish. The delay is really nice in Sylenth, but the Virus's is better, I think. I am going to be biased. People are probably going to disagree with me all the way through this, but I am a Virus lover, and I will always side towards the Virus. So we're going to go to the Virus now. There's loads of different types of delay. We're going to have to go to take clocked 4/16 and 2/4. 4/16 and 2/16 is like 2/8 or 1/4 and then 1/8. So this is the same pattern. We're going to turn the delay on. Listen to that. Virus effects. Right, we'll go back to Sylenth. Introduce a bit of reverb. We'll pull the dry wet down a bit. Sorry, that is a delay. The reverb, the dry wet down. We won't give it any pre-delay. We'll get the side centre-ish. The reverb in Sylenth is an effect plopped on to the end of the channel. In the Virus it's a send, so it's a lot more subtle. We'll introduce the one in the Virus now. The colour, you haven't really got a colour choice in the reverb within Sylenth. The colour is like it's like a filter, or pinpointing where you want the reverb to be. Dead centre is where you're going to have it most of the time, or quite put to the right slightly, aiming it a bit brighter. We'll go to the EQ and boost the mids because it's a pluck, and a little bit of the highs. Go back to Sylenth, to an EQ. Change between the two again. That's the Virus. Sylenth. Virus. So pretty close. The Virus, the reverb in Virus, you've got this pre-delay. I mean, you've got it inside the reverb within Sylenth, but the good thing about the Virus is you can set the pre-delay to a clock. I don't know any other synth way you can do this. It's a brilliant feature. So I'm just going to set it to half note and just hear what this does. It's going to mingle with the delay gorgeously. Okay, we'll try that and do that with the Sylenth, see if we can get it anywhere close. Both really good, clean sounding synths. As I say, I generally wouldn't use any other effects on a patch like this. If I was in the Virus, I'd crank the analog boost up. So I'll just show you for now. It's a feature which Sylenth doesn't have. Okay. Before I go and show you other things that I would do inside the Virus, this is where Sylenth ends in my eyes. We've got one filter opening it up. I'm just going to extend this loop here. All I've done in the second part of this MIDI clip is I've opened up the decay on both filters, so you're going to hear it sort of open up into a super saw. So I'll play Sylenth first. Lovely crisp sounding synth, and the Virus. Still the Virus effects making it stand out a lot more. So yeah, there ain't really much more I would do in Sylenth. I use it generally like that for making lovely, crisp, clean sounding plucks. What you can do with the Virus is then you can go use some of these other effects. I mean, there's a chorus and a phaser. I wouldn't generally use that on a pluck. What the Virus has got is a vowel filter. If you crank the resonance up on the vowel filter, the mix on full, this vowel then chooses the pitch of the vowel. What I like to do in the matrix section is set key follow to the filter bank frequency, which is the pitch of that vowel, and set it to full. It's giving that little vowely mouth-like shape. The higher you go up the scale, the higher the note. What I would also do is I would use a saffron overdrive. I'll get this sitting how I want it first, and I'll tell you what I do. And this is distortion intensity. In the matrix section, I use key follow for the distortion intensity. So it's going to flick the distortion in with the key bed as well, if that makes any sense. The higher the note, the more distortion, but the filter snapping it on and off just adds a nice zing to the high notes. So the Virus, this is Sylenth again. Virus. There you go. The Virus amazes me every single time I use it. There ain't much in it, in all honesty. Subtle differences. The effects in the Virus are massively different. The overall tone and timbre of the Virus is a lot more clearer, a lot more analog sounding. If you're just listening to this through a laptop, you're not going to get the gist of it. You're going to need to listen to this through a really decent set of headphones. Yeah, Sylenth is a brilliant bit of kit, cheap, very, very well used and liked by a lot of people. I've had a lot of comments and questions, people asking me lately, should I get a Virus, should I this, that, it's expensive. If you've got the money, get one. You will never, ever, ever regret it, and you will never, ever sell it. Simple as that. But for now, that's it. That's my comparison. Another comparison between Sylenth and the Virus TI, comparing plucks. If you've enjoyed this, make sure you subscribe for more tutorials. I've been doing a lot of live streams lately. If you want to get in on the live streams, you need to check out my Facebook and Google+. It's Sound Design Tutorials. I'll be dropping messages on there, letting you know when I am doing streams. I'm streaming through Twitch. There's a link in the description. If you want private lessons on any of the synths that I use, get in touch. Okay, thanks for watching. Cheers.